Today's Bible lesson is coming out of Luke 19, verses 1 through 10. So the story is on Zacchaeus, and the takeaway from this story is that Zacchaeus was noticed by God. So I hope you enjoyed today's lesson. Today in writing, students will do a dictation exercise. So if the student doesn't have their book, you can just simply do this on a loose leaf paper. So I will say the sentence 3 times, and then you can pause the video and students have to write it. In class, I make them wait until I finish saying the sentence before they can begin writing. So the sentence is, and now something happened that had never happened before. Moomin Troll awoke and found that he couldn't go back to sleep again. Again, and now something happened that had never happened before. Moomin Troll awoke and found that he couldn't go back to sleep again. 3rd time. And now something happened that had never happened before. Moomin Troll awoke and found that he couldn't go back to sleep again. So parents, after they complete writing this, I will put up a picture of a board and I will have a few sentences on the board. And students, I will write down a few adverbs, and students can just make their own sentences with these adverbs. They can do this on a loose leaf paper or on the back of their workbook paper. So here are the adverbs that students can make sentences with. So the first one is happily, and then extremely, silently, closely, lazily, and wisely. I would like a picture of that to be emailed to me on today. Thank you. Today in reading, students will complete pages 76 to 78. Just a reminder, I will have the reading test attached in the email on tomorrow that students will have to complete. Today in math, we are learning how to divide by 2, lesson 128. Parents, please make sure that you are reviewing the multiplication facts with students every day. There's a red booklet that should be in their binders that we put the facts in, and they could study from there. If they do not have that facts booklet, it's okay. We did times 1, times 2, times 3, times 4, times 5, times 10, and times 0. I'm sure you could Google something and find that. Today in math, students will learn how to divide by 2. They will be introduced to what's called division. They don't get too deep in it in 2nd grade, but in 3rd grade, they will go deeper into division. So you can just stick to just keeping it simple like this, dividing by 2. So we've learned that addition and subtraction are opposites of one another. And now that we have begun learning multiplication, division is the opposite of multiplication. Multiplication is when we multiply, we make it into more. Division is when we split it into less. So dividing by 2 is like you're cutting something in half. And so it's like you'll have a certain amount of something, and when you split it down the middle equally. And so students should remember that there's only one type of number that we could divide in half, which are even numbers. So whenever you are dividing by 2, it has to be an even number so that you could have the same amount equally on both sides. So if you look to the right side of the board, there's a dot and then a line underneath it and then another dot. That is the symbol that we use in division. So whenever you have a division problem, that is the symbol you will put in between. So we've learned the doubles facts already, which are like 6 plus 6 equals 12, 5 plus 5 equals 10, and so on and so forth. And so division should come easy to students because it's like you're breaking those facts in half. So for example, I have 4 divided by 2. Students probably already know that it's going to be 2 because if I have 4 and when I split 4 in half, it's going to be 2 and 2. 6 divided by 2, split 6 in half by 2 pieces, and then it becomes 3. So parents, you can go through that with students. If you want to further explain it, you can. I do believe that this is a pretty simple lesson. I just really want them to know the division symbol and understand what division means. But they already know how to divide even numbers up to 20 in half. After you complete the board work and you discuss it, today's workbook page is 128A. It will be the multiplication page and a work page.